Hey everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Max Stack Motorsports for you. So last time I left you guys, we just finished putting in our new suspension stuff on the front end here. You can see the new subframe from Rice Rocket powder coating, as well as the sway bar. So this is not an iBox sway bar, this is just an OEM sway bar that was coated. And then we have our control arm, brand new control arm. These are the R32 control arms, as well as our white line performance end links. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna move on to putting in our coilovers. Finally gonna be putting the coilovers in. Hopefully everything goes as planned. Okay everyone, so this is what we're working with here today. As you guys can see, I've kind of cranked open the box just a wee bit to take a look at what's inside there, but I haven't seen everything yet. So this is kind of one of the first times gonna see everything in this box. But yeah, these are JOMs or JOMs, however you guys want to pronounce it. And these are NJTs. So these ones are more adjustable than just their baseline models. As you guys can see here, soft and hard, so they got some dampening going on. And they're going to have height adjustability, which is obviously pretty big on what we're going to be doing with the car. The only thing that's going to be different is instead of using the springs that came with this set, we have these right here. So Das Parts went out of the way to order me some Swift springs. These are 10K for the front, and I'm running 8K on the rear. Now, if you guys have been following along with the videos so far, you guys know that this is more of a vlog on how we took apart the whole front suspension. So don't expect the whole coilover installed today. It's going to be mostly just the front. I'm not going to worry about the rears until probably I don't know, later this week, because I think tomorrow I'm going to try to film putting on the new brakes. So if you guys want to see the rears, I'll show you guys like very briefly on how to do that. You take those bolts out right there, and there's bolts at the bottom. You take those out, you swap them out. Pretty easy, guys. But yeah, as far as the front end goes, we're going to be taking those springs off and putting in the Swift springs. And then yeah, pretty basic. Got the front here, we got brand new 34 Motorsports upper mount struts, or upper strut mounts, sorry, as well as a new bearing. And yeah, this should be a lot of fun to put in. Hopefully everything goes well, so let's get to it. So just going through the box here, as you guys can see, there's a lot of cardboard, but there we go. So that is definitely one of the front struts. And again, guys, so we're going to be taking this spring out and putting in the custom Swift spring, and then the spring helper here. I'm probably going to get rid of that because I think it's actually made to kind of help with your ride, like as far as drivability. But on a track, I want to be as tuned up as I can. So I can be removing those as well. Most likely just going to keep these on the side just in case, and then I'll probably keep these. I've been trying to sell these for a while, just the springs, but no one seems to want them, which is understandable, so I'll probably just keep them for spares. But yeah, 10K, you guys can see right there, there's the part number. So 10K, hopefully the 10K with the 8K setup is going to be decent for the track. Just judging by what everyone's kind of said to me, that should be a healthy number, and we'll have to see. If I have to make an adjustments, then I will do that accordingly. But yeah, let's get these guys out, and then we can see what else is in the box and keep moving on here. There's the first box out. Right here, you guys can see the rears. So I haven't even opened the rears yet. As you see, those are the rear springs, and we have, these are the rear spring perches. So again, I'm not going to be worried about the rears today. I'm going to be focusing on just the fronts and then the rear strut down there. So those can go out of the way. What do we got here? This looks like some sort of grease thingy. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look at that. Got some instructions at the bottom. Just going to grab this out. So here's the other front. So that means that the one in there is the rear. So I'm just going to put the rears in now, and then I'll get this box out of the way and we can start swapping the springs up. So just going through the instructions here, probably not gonna be able to read them just because it's all in German. So unfortunately I don't know much German, and if I do know any, it's probably not the good kind. But Yep, even on this side, still German. I think all this stuff is German too. But just specs and whatnot. But yeah, it's okay, whatever. At least I kind of know. There's a lot of Austria on it. Maybe these are Austrian, I don't know. Anyways, so there we go. So there's our first spring that we're gonna take out. Okay, let me just get this more in the shade for you guys. It's so nice out right now. The last thing I want to be doing is working on cars, but that's okay. So anyways, guys, pretty basic. To take these off right here, take this top spring out. I'm just gonna undo this top nut. There you go, easy peasy. And then slowly release this guy right here, which I think is more of a jam nut. So what I'm going to be using is I'm going to grab the stock nut that came off our stock struts, so that little shallow nut that kind of holds the whole bearing and upper strut mount in place. I'm going to grab those off my stock ones, and then I should be able to use that. But yeah, we're going to take this off right here. So this right here, guys, is our little dial. So that's to adjust our dampening, which I assume on the front is going to be most of the time they're right there, somewhere in there. I probably have to take that little plug out, but that's usually where dampening happens. Usually on the rears or at the bottom. It depends on the brand and the car, obviously. Try to keep everything in good shape. Just got a dust boot here I have to worry about. There we go. So there you go. So there's the one spring already out. And then yeah, we're gonna take off the spring helper right here. There we go, guys. So there's the bare strut right there. Spring helper, Heineken, good to go, baby, good to go. Toss that over there. Don't forget your dust boot. And then you have your little top hat right here. Anyway, so let's open up our 10K springs for the front. And these are 7 inches, I think, so the car will be a lot lower, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh yeah. Even though that's not really going to determine too much height, just because it's still going to go on this. In the box over there, or do I have it with me? There it is. This guy right here. So our little adjuster, spanner, wrench, however you guys want to call it, for all your adjustments. So you can see there's a new spring on. Obviously I'm going to have to adjust it so that it sits proper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the other front spring, and then that way I can move my collars up here accordingly. That way it matches everything, so that it all kind of synchronizes itself with at least the way the old spring was. When I go get this car aligned at Adrena for the track, they can adjust everything the way it has to be done. But yeah, I'm so excited, man. Look at that. It's such a nice color too. I dig that. Kind of throws off on the red and white, but yeah, I dig that right there for sure. Okay, so I have this thing almost topped out. We're gonna have to see how it's gonna work. I don't think I have to use that spring helper. I'll double check, but I don't think I have to use that. But yeah, so that's pretty much topped out right there. So I'm just gonna move that, and then that seems to be roughly the same height of what those what the stock, or not stock ones, but what the JOMs out of the factory look like. Is roughly almost the same. Again, guys, if I have to move everything accordingly, I will. But that's what it looks like right now. I just got to bring this collar up, tighten it, and then yeah, we can start mounting it. It's really not that hard to mount new ones, guys. It's pretty easy. It's just trying to do everything nice and relaxing and making sure you do everything right. All right, guys. So, so I pretty much put the Swift spring in, and for some reason I just couldn't get everything to line up properly, or at least the way that I think it should be done. So I put the spring helper back in just to kind of give me a little bit more adjustability at the top. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know my neighbor's cutting the lawn. But yeah, so I put the spring helper back in. Hopefully the rears are going to be okay too. But anyways, I'm just going to do this for now. That way I can still install them, at least get the car to where it's got to go. So moving on to the next step, guys. So I got the new bearing in there, as well as the 34 Motorsports upper strut mount, which is nice. So as you can see, you already know where it's going to go. So I got the bearing on first. I'm going to put the strut mount on, and then before we do that, I got to put this guy. So this guy was on the stock struts, and I'm going to make sure that I have to torque this down. I have to double check on the torque specs, but I have to torque this down. That way everything's all good here, and then we're slowly going to feed the new coilover up into the hole there. After that is when I'll probably grab a jack, and then I'm going to probably fill this new or not new, but this pinch area here with some grease, and I have brand new pinch bolts to go in there. Alright guys, so we're back here. It's the next day. I kind of ended the footage from yesterday just because I was really struggling with getting these coilovers kind of lined up and whatnot. So as you guys can see, I put the spring helper back in. Yeah, from what I was told, it actually doesn't do anything except just obviously help the spring. So I didn't want to max these threads out for the Swift spring, so I left this one in there. And then I was having a real tough time doing the top hat as far as on top of the coilover. So I'll show you guys the other one, what I mean, but where the bearing and the upper strut mount is, I was having a real tough time torquing that down, and I've been having some issues with this strut mount, upper strut mount there, but we'll see. And then this side was just an absolute nightmare for me to do this morning, so I didn't really want to film it because it took me a while. There was a lot of words said at this car, and but yeah, we got it in there. It's in there for now. This pinch bolt, so this 18mm pinch bolt is supposed to be torqued down to 45 foot-pounds. So again guys, like if you don't have everything torqued, don't be driving around all over the place. At least torque it once, go for a drive, come back, retorque it if you have to. But yeah, this was a huge bitch to get in, like an absolute nightmare. I put a bunch of anti-seize in there, then the strut got jammed, and I don't have the proper spreader tools, so I ended up making one out of a 3/8 Allen key, which did the job, thank God. But huge nightmare. But anyways, I didn't want to film this side just because it was a huge pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film putting the driver's side in. So that should hopefully help you guys. Again, this is more of a vlog thing. I'm not really trying to teach you guys much. I'm just kind of vlogging as I go. But if you guys do want to do the passenger side, very basic. You know, you're going to put in the top first, and then try to use a jack to get the sleeve in there while the thing is spread open. You put your pinch bolt in, and then at the end you're gonna do your top nut with impact. But yeah, and then in some cases you might have to loosen this axle shafts here. Other than that, like yeah, huge pain, but I'm happy that that side's done. So let's go over to the other side and I'll show you guys the other coilover. Okay, so a couple things that I did on this side to help me do a better job on this side compared to the passenger side is I took a wire brush and a file, and I pre-cleaned the old spindle to get all that crap out. And then what I'm going to do too is I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant in there and some anti-seize on the actual coilover, and then that way it should be a little bit easier. Also guys, yeah, make sure your tie rod is undone. I had the other one on the passenger side on, and it just, oh, it was just so dumb. So make sure that the tie rod is taken care of. That way you can maneuver your spindle accordingly. So pretty basic, but yeah, let me get the coilover out, and then I gotta bring all my tools on this side, and then we can get this side going. Okay, so there's the coilover there again. Yeah, yesterday I was having a real tough time doing this nut. This is the nut that's from your stock struts. So what you do is when you get your new coilovers, yeah, you're gonna put your top hat, you're gonna put your bearing, so your bearing's gonna be underneath there, and then you're gonna have your upper strut mount and then you put that nut on it. Now, the issue I was having was this has to be torqued down to 44 foot-pounds, and you can see there's a little thing there, like a little flat spot to put like either a set of pliers or whatever. But yeah, I just don't want to mess up the threads. You think there would be one on both sides. Unfortunately, there isn't, and I don't have any deep offset, what's it called, wrenches. And if you take off this little kind of like rubber boot thing here, right there, that's just a slot for the adjustment dial to adjust your dampening. So I ended up, yeah, just kind of holding the actual shaft with my hands. I didn't use any tools, and used my my impact right there, and just kind of gave it a couple bursts, to yeah, really get it going. So hopefully that's tight enough for now. Again, as long as the car gets to the shop to where it has to go, I can let the professionals take over a little bit more. But yeah, like they're gonna be looking at it regardless. Unfortunately, I just don't have the tools for that. So yeah, whatever, what are you gonna do? Anyways, so we're gonna start feeding this baby up right up through the hole there, and then where's the new lock nut? I think I have it. I have to go grab it. Oh no, it's in my pocket. So we're just gonna use brand new lock nut from so JOM's here. This is a 7/8. So I'm just gonna feed it up and then put on the top hat. So right, this little guy, and then get the old one out of the way. And that way, everything's all nice and set. So again, guys, are just gonna go finger tight on this. That way it's got something to hold on to. There we go. Nice. So that's all nice and situated in there. So you can see here, obviously the spindle is a lot higher than the actual strut. So what I'm probably gonna have to do here is I'm probably gonna have to undo the sway bar end link, I think. That way I can go down a bit more. And then from there I'll probably have to jack it up with the jack and slowly guide everything. Again, you got your alignment tab right there, so that's gonna be aligned with that. And that way you can put the brand new pinch bolts in, guys. So try to replace the bolts if you can. I would highly recommend it. So let's yeah, take off the end link there, and then we can hopefully get this control arm low enough to do it. So there you guys go. You guys can see, just took off the end link right here. Make sure you guys don't lose the washers. I think the washer's still on there. It should be. Oh, it's right here. So yeah, don't make sure you guys don't lose these for your end links, and then you can see how much more space we have. So now I'm just gonna kind of lube this all up. I probably could put a bunch of anti-seize inside of here, and then some fluid film just on the outside here. Get the jack, and then slowly start to jack it up. That way everything goes into place. Okay, so I got the camera on the spindle here. You guys can see the top of, I'll just show you guys inside. So a bunch of anti-seize, a little bit of fluid film just to kind of make everything go in nice. So I'm gonna try to jack up the spindle now, toss this baby on, have my brand new bolt ready, and make sure you guys put some anti-seize on here as well. All right, here we go. Here goes nothing. Ooh. So you can see the tool, my little homemade, yeah, you can kind of see it. My little homemade swabbing tool here, I guess you can call it. Make sure the tab's all lined up. There we go. Falls into place. Come on, baby. Nice and easy. So I've just got the spreader going a bit. Slowly jack it up. Oh, much better, guys. Much better here. We're close. Nice. A little bit more. Oh, perfect. There we go, guys. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but look at that now. Oh my god. That was so much better than before. Oh, whoops. You can kind of see how the hole is straight? So that's where the tab is. That's exactly how you want it. Exactly how. And everything's all lined up. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, so just gonna grab brand new pinch bolt again, and dip it in some anti-seize.
We've been proudly Canadian for 40 years and celebrate love in 2 official languages. Our raison d'être is to be the destination for couples who share that joie de vivre, that trusting bond.
Sweet. Okay, and then we're gonna toss it in here. So what you might have to do is just give it a couple hits with a hammer, or you might have to use like an impact. There you go. So make sure everything's ready to go. Again, let's see if you guys can. Oh, keep it right underneath here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So 18 millimeter again. Tighten it up. So nice and tight. So right there, and again guys, these are going to be 44, 45 foot-pounds is what you want this 18 millimeter bolt to be. I'm going to put my end link back on, and then I'm going to come up top here and just hit this with a 7/8 impact. Be careful guys, you don't want to over torque or spin the shaft inside too much to overheat it, or else you might run the risk of breaking a seal. And again, this one up here too has got to be 44 or 45 foot-pounds of torque. But yeah, it looks oh man, looks awesome. And I got all the tabs here for everything. I'm gonna have to solder or do some wiring for the ABS sensor, which I do have. I might get new brake dust covers, because these are just so ugly and horrible, and they've been cutting me like crazy. So I might do that. But yeah guys, what a couple days it's been. We did everything from the subframe, control arms, sway bar, end links, a bunch of stuff. Now the coilovers are finally in. I'm hoping this week to get the brakes done. We'll see what the weather brings, but that's the next big step. But as far as the coilovers are concerned, finally got those in. Again, if this is the first video you're watching and you're gonna put a huge thumbs down because you didn't see how I took the old ones out, or I didn't put the passenger side in, just make sure you guys go back and follow along. You'll see the whole kind of scenario with this whole front end suspension stuff. So thanks again guys for watching another video. Oh boy, hopefully we can get this done sooner than later. I really appreciate the support. Again, comment, subscribe, DM me if you have any questions. Max Attack Motorsports on Instagram, as always. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Ciao.